All right, I'm going to be honest. Spending time alone is low key kind of lonely. Uh, it is. It's definitely not. Okay, I wouldn't call it fun, but there's a lot of things going on when you're spending a lot of time alone. Okay, but I think the one thing that I can really advocate for when you spend time alone, when um, on your lonesome, is that you figure a lot of stuff out. You learn a lot about yourself. You understand the things that you want, things that you do, why you do these things, why are you like this, and you start to understand yourself more. I was like way before elementary, middle school, high school, basically as long as I can remember. I always had like a group. I was always in a group. I wouldn't say I'm the most social person. I was never really a very social person. I was always very like awkward, antisocial at times. I was never really that big on socializing with everybody, but I I always had people. I always had friends, and I have never really been in a position where I felt, you know, the way I do now. Okay, when you spend a lot of time alone, you start to realize yourself, and you're able to notice a lot of things about your surroundings, about the world, about whatever it is. Because when you're in a group, when you're in a small like group setting or a circle, you're only focused within that group unless you start noticing the things around you. But your main focus is usually with the people that you're talking to, that you're with. You know, you don't really care about anything else. You care about the group, which is not bad. Which is good. Which is obviously that's what's supposed to happen. But when you spend time alone, you start to realize what you are interested in life, and not even just in a literal physical sense, but I'm talking about a spiritual sense. Like, what do you want as a person? What do because usually you're grasping from a lot of people's perspective, and that's the case, right? You usually are always going to gain, you're always going to be influenced by those around you. Nothing wrong with that. That's actually how life works. But the one thing that is important is that you have to understand, what do you want. Okay, because you get to a certain point in your life where you're able to be conscious enough to make decisions based on what you want. Okay, because like I said, when you're in high school, middle school, whatever, your brain is not developed. Like, whatever you're surrounded with is what tends to be whatever you want. Like, if people are into cars, usually you're gonna be into cars. Gym, you're usually gonna be into gym. Games, usually they can be into games. If everyone's into games, you're usually gonna be conforming around the people, because like I said, that's just how life works. But then you get to a certain point where now you become literally aware. Now this is like 20, 21, or 18, 19. Like, this, at this point, this, like, you don't, I mean, at 21 you usually realize it. Well, at least, okay, I mean, I realized it a while ago. Okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. But you get to a certain point in your life where you kind of start to realize a lot of things. You start to think about a lot of things. What do you want? What do you like to do? See, and you spending time alone allows you to configure, or to um, differentiate between the stuff that you want and the stuff that are influenced by other things, external factors. And this is gonna sound a little bit weird, but one thing that I kind of started to realize was my love life. Okay, and this is gonna be a very like weird topic, but don't worry. Let me just talk the whole thing, and then we can move on. Okay, or you can just fast forward this. But I started to realize that when I see somebody very attractive, okay, and we all have this. Okay, I see a girl, she's very attractive, and I'm like thinking like, wow, I want to go out with her. Okay, everybody has these thoughts. Okay, everybody has these thoughts. Okay, but then I started to realize that one of the reasons why I'm focusing on it, because one, I only wanted to go out with them because they're attractive. Okay, two, I thought that being someone that attractive was a flex. Three, I thought that I felt better as a person if I'm with somebody as attractive as that person. And of course, those are only those are not. I don't think those are good ways to even approach somebody or um to be in a relationship with somebody. I think that's just wrong. I don't think you should ever be with somebody just because of their appearance. I mean, appearance is one factor. Okay, appearance is one factor, but you know, I, either way, okay, I started to realize that those are the reasons why I wanted to be in a relationship, and I realized that I didn't want to be like that anymore. I didn't want to have that mindset anymore. And this is what I mean. Like when you spend time alone, because when you go on social media, when you're with friends, everybody's always talking about, oh my gosh, that girl's so attractive. I want to approach her. I want to go after her, right? And then da 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 da, right? Now, when you spend some time alone, you kind of start to realize why you want to be in a relationship. Who do you want to be in a relationship? I don't want to be in a relationship just because they look good, just because they are attractive. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be in a relationship because of that. Like, I want to find someone in a natural way. And of course, people can just say, oh, that's unrealistic. Your chances of being in a relationship are so low if you have that type of approach in relationships. But I really couldn't care. I'm picky. And I don't think picky is bad, right? As long as you can put up with the fact that it's gonna take a lot longer, okay? But I started to realize that I didn't want to be in a relationship just because I saw someone attractive. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just steer away from. I mean, I'm gonna see a lot of people attractive everywhere I go. Okay, that's completely normal, but I kind of shifted my mindset. Like, just be, I wouldn't really want to be in a relationship with them. I just think they're attractive. That's my mindset now. And like I said, people can have different opinions with me having that type of mindset or that approach or whatever. And I'm probably not even making any sense because it's very hard to explain my own thoughts knowing that I don't really even have a full grasp of what I'm actually thinking of my own mind. I don't really have a full grasp of it anyways. But you know, so that's what I'm saying. You kind of have to take some time. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take some time to fully understand why you want certain things, and that's okay. You know, wait, what did I just say? Honestly, I don't even know what I just said. Wait, backtrack. I don't know. I think I just rambled on. My mind. Okay, hold on. Let me talk back again. I got distracted. I just had some like random thought. But the moral of this message. Oh, I don't even. What I'm generally trying to say is that spend some time alone, figure yourself out, figure what you want in life, and it's gonna take you a while. Okay, it's gonna take you a while to understand yourself because you're very complex. Okay, as a human being, you're very complex. There's so many things influencing you, and then you have to figure out to differentiate between if the stuff that are influencing you are truly something that you want, or something that you just want because you see other people doing it. Okay? And that's the thing with relationships. People, I saw somebody attractive, people tell you because you think they're attractive, you should approach them. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? Maybe I'm just trying to, I don't know. I don't want to approach people only just because they look good. Right? I don't want to approach people just because they are attractive, you know? Like, like if I was gonna approach someone, I would be like, "Oh my gosh, I like your shirt," or "I love your car," "Oh, I love your oh, I like your keychains," or "I love I love your clothes," stuff like that. Not because you look attractive, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I just see someone and the attractiveness is all I see, I don't know. I just feel like there's some spiritual wrongdoings that I'm committing there. And like I said, people can think that I'm just being stupid. And I do think that. But, it's my life. I don't tell people that they should live their life according to mine. But I mean, technically, I am doing it. Like, I'm telling you to spend your time alone. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm only making these videos as a perspective. Okay, a message from my own experiences. And I know, okay, honestly, that's low key kind of contradicting to a lot of the things that I've said, but I don't know. You do what you want. If you thought this video was interesting and you like, I don't want to tell you I don't want you to do whatever I'm telling you to do. Like, spend some time alone, do all these things only because I'm telling you to. I'm only telling you because if you feel in the same position as mine, okay, if you feel like you haven't figured yourself out, you need some time to figure yourself out, and you haven't, I'm telling you to try spending some time alone. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But if you want to try, okay, because here's the thing: is that spending some time alone has helped me. I'm able to understand my life a little bit more. I'm able to have a better grasp than I did previously on my thoughts, my thinking, my values, my morals, I have a better grasp of myself, my own life. I mean, of course, my life is not perfect. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you that my life is a lot better than a lot of people's, but I can tell you right now that my life is a lot better than it was a year ago. Like, I don't really, I don't really advocate telling people to just sporadically just leave with their friend groups. You know what I mean? Like, of course, you should still have a social life. Okay, you should still have I have a social life. I have like a couple friends that I still hang out with. I mean, not always, because I mean, we're at the certain point in our life where everyone's busy. But I don't know. Just if people are not available, if people are not inviting you to do something, just do it yourself. If you want to go to Japan by yourself, go by yourself. Okay, that's what I'm planning to do. I mean, I'm planning to go to China with one of, well, I want to go. I actually don't even know. I have to ask my mom, honestly. Yeah, I have to ask my mom. I still live in her house, I'm still someone's son. But I have to ask my mom to see if I can go to China with this guy I know at the gym. Amazing guy, by the way. But, you know, like I said, spend some time alone. If you want to go travel the world, you should do everything that you want. Okay, do everything that you want. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. You know, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. If you want to do it, do it. Okay? But you need to spend some time alone to just figure yourself out. But that's just me. If you thought this video was interesting, you know, hopefully you did. Hopefully you liked hearing me talk about stuff like this. And I'll catch you on the next video. That's all I have for today. And hope you guys are doing well. Peace.